Are we on? Is this it? Wow! It was about time that we had our cooking show or Spanish table. Right?
Yes, sorry for those of us you who were waiting. We had a little delay, but
yeah,
here we are.
IT problems, right?
Yep.
Anyway, happy. We're gonna have some money, yeah, but first we have to get some work done, right?
It is. Well, we've got a really yummy recipe ahead of us. So for those of you, I have a feeling that a lot of you are aware of the glorious pairing that is duck with Pinot Noir. This is a classic, a quintessential match made in heaven.
It depends on the duck, honestly. The one recipe here, yes, it is.
Bonnie says she agrees with Mom.
Yeah, that's right. That was she agreed. So essentially, what I've done here, I took a recipe that I love from my book, The Catalan Country Kitchen, and it's on page 78. It's a braised duck with fixed and orange and cherry sauce. But what I did is I simplified it because that's a recipe that I so much enjoyed in Spain at a wonderful restaurant in the Gothic Quarter in Barcelona. And it was called A Group, and doesn't exist anymore, so never mind. But then I went to a great cooking class in Amélie Levin, and with Madeleine Cameron. She was my teacher, and I learned to do this special sauce. It was so complicated. So what I've done is that I've adapted you. Look at the well, you can't see it, but anyway, trust me, this is really easy. And the nice thing about this recipe is that it's classic Catalan, which, as you know, it combines the sweet and savory ingredients. In other words, you get fruits like the figs, which I really prefer dried figs than fresh figs, and something savory like duck, right?
And why do the dried figs work better than the fresh figs?
Well, I tried it with both because the dried figs have more consistency. I mean, you can use fresh figs during the fig season and for accompaniment, but also, how often, how many months of the year do you have fresh figs, right? So, believe me, try this with dried figs, okay? And with that, we've selected our fabulous wine, right? Cristina Pinot Noir.
Yes,
right?
Indeed.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first, right?
Shall we kick things off?
Yes. So, we're going to do half a recipe of the one that you have on the website. We're going to have a recipe which is 2 duck breasts, and they are
from Liberty Duck.
Yes, which we love. They have the best duck. But anyway, so this is essentially a duck breast, right? And in the old days, you had to cook the whole duck, and it was really way more complicated.
As in, you couldn't just buy duck breasts in the market?
No, this is very new. I think that Liberty Ducks has pioneered that. And you get them from other producers as well. So anyway, that's essentially what you get. A duck of breast that looks like that. And essentially, you just put salt and pepper on it, right? And then you go here. So you want to, what we're going to do, we're going to saute it in a big pan, well, one that fits 4 if you make one recipe on it. And we're going to put a little butter in there with a lovely spoon. And it really depends on how much fat the duck has. This one doesn't have much fat, but you see all of these will melt afterwards. But what we want is to saute it so that the skin is really, really crisp and gold and not overcooked. The main thing is don't overcook the duck. But honestly, it's not much more different than cooking a breast of chicken. Except that here the skin is thicker. But there's nothing I like at all about overcooked chicken breasts. So same thing here, right?
So, all right, let's put
start.
Yeah. All right, and do check in the text of the post for the link to the recipe and to the wine, as always. And share any questions. Those who are watching live, share questions so that whether it's on substitutions or anything like that. And do let us know that you've tuned in so we can send you a virtual hello. And
we love virtual hellos. Yes,
we know. So good to have you. Corley and Sam Y.
Oh,
So
really?
good to have you from Minnesota. Springtime in Minnesota must be glorious.
Yeah.
And David Clardy in North Dakota.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
North Dakota.
Yes. So good to have you.
How's the weather in North Dakota these days?
Well, springtime is beautiful everywhere, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah,
I
isn't
love
springtime
April.
beautiful?
Love April. Yeah, except we haven't had enough rain. But other than that,
That's true.
okay, I'm gonna think of this. Or
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Okay, so getting the pan
Yes.
nice and
So we're
hot.
yes, I'm gonna put it skin side down, okay, and on pretty heavy heat.
And when you say pat dry duck breasts, what do you mean by that?
Well, because when you get them from the store, they usually have some, liquid from the duck breast itself.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you just pat dry them and then put.
Mom thinks that everyone knows just as much as she does about
I
cooking
don't know
and
much
food.
about cooking. I'm a Spanish cooking.
And
So.
all right, shall I talk about the wine? Or
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, time for some Pinot. Let us know what you're enjoying to start off the weekend.
Thank you.
Cheers. We are kicking things off with our 2016 Cristina Pinot Noir.
I love it.
Take a guess who that might be named after.
My lovely daughter.
Imagine
Because
that.
I only have one, so she had to get
So,
the most expensive.
It is our best of the best, our most expensive wine, and it also has a pretty snazzy black label with gold print. I can't take credit for that packaging, the label, but I 100% approve. I think it's quite stunning. So this is our barrel selection Pinot Noir from this vineyard, the Don Miguel vineyard in the Russian River. And so what is a barrel selection? This is kind of like our cuvee, our best of the best. The idea is that the fruit, the Pinot Noir, is picked, fermentation in stainless steel with fermentation on the skins to get that beautiful Pinot color. And then the wine ages in oak. So a barrel selection means that the team, my mom, our cellar master, taste the wines in the barrel and decide which barrels are really just most exciting, have that potential for aging that really reflect the terroir of this vineyard. So it is a decision made, once the wine is in barrel. And this wine does seem a little more new oak than our classic Pinot Noir, so about 50% new oak.
50
and it's
70% depending on the years. Yeah.
And how long does it spend in oak?
Well, now it's 18 months.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it used to be closer to 10 or 12, and now it is 18 months. And it just really, it adds to the fullness. This wine, for example, the La Masia Pinot Noir is what we bottle, that is the non-barrel selection. And this wine just has more body, more fullness, perhaps more complexity, and that time in oak gives it just a little more to the equation, without being oaky or alcoholic or over extracted.
Okay.
So I think that means time for a sip.
Yeah. Because otherwise I won't be able to. See, that's how you want the skin to look. Okay, really nice and crisp.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm getting really hungry.
Yeah.
I'm starting to notice that I skipped lunch.
And then we turn it over. See how beautiful.
I don't recommend skipping lunch. I rarely do that.
No. And also see some of the fat.
Yeah,
Even though
that is beautiful.
my fat is made. I mean, it's started out. So it's really doing very well. So you don't want to overcook it. Okay.
So how do you be sure to not overcook it? Because it's such beautiful produce, and it can be so easily overcooked.
Well, here you just are searing it. I mean, you're making the skin dark and golden, and then you're just searing it down here. But this is about it.
Should we show it again?
Yeah. See, on the other side, it's like this, and here it's like that. Oopsie, can you tell? Look, yes.
Nice golden brown.
Okay, so we're going to turn this off.
Beautiful.
And we're going to put these in a little,
Oh, we've got Steve Walker who's tuned in.
Wow.
So good to have you. He is even in the wine industry and loves our wine. So he knows we are just thrilled. And he says he's trying the Cristina for the first time. Fantastic. And I know you're cooking along with us because you asked about substitutes.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Another way or we will overcook it.
Yeah.
So now we're going to flambe. Ooh, this fun part. Okay, I'm gonna put a little more here. Alright, I did have a recipe, but it doesn't look good enough.
Oh, flambe, flambe.
Yeah, okay.
Oh boy, watch, watch. So you pour on the brandy, do a little shaking, and then a tip. Tipping the pan.
Oh, it was off.
Oh, the fire's off. Probably turn on the heat, turn on the fire in order to flambe. Yep. Okay, now the tipping. There we go.
You like it or what?
Oh boy. Whew, gets me a little concerned. So the key is, that like adding the brandy, the spirit, a little shake. I'm not sure why to shake, but then the tipping.
Well, so that it warms up equally.
Right, and then the tipping the pan to kind of have it catch.
Yeah.
And
now,
I can't say that I feel comfortable doing that though.
okay, and now we're gonna do our sauce. Okay, we're gonna do it here on the blender, and we're gonna put. Okay, look at the recipe. And so we have. Okay, we're gonna mix the 4 figs. 4 figs. No, it's two figs. So we're gonna put 2 figs here. Oh no, these are already cut. That's right. So 2 figs that you have essentially cut up, right? And I'm sorry. And of course, first of all, it's a good idea to start this recipe a little early, and then you like 2 hours at least, or overnight. You
the soaking, if you look at the recipe, that first line we didn't mention it.
And it's about 1 cup of boiling water. It doesn't matter, more or less. These recipes, like you can go more or less depending on your plate. Like I put more sherry than I should have, but it's okay. It was very good. And okay, so then we're gonna put the figs, and then the orange juice, which for one whole recipe is 1 cup, about 1 large orange. So here it goes. And, see, this is half a recipe, yeah. Okay. And then the orange zest of the same orange. This orange, I love. People think that you don't use everything with an orange, but actually you do, because you use the zest, the juice, and you know what else with the white spark?
The membrane.
The dogs eat it. They love it. They love it, honestly. So, and then we put a little bit of cinnamon, and I have to show you, it's so funny. I have these little spoonies.
They're very cute, very tiny.
From the saffron. The saffron from Spain comes with these spoons. It's so cute.
They're so itty bitty.
So do you know the difference?
Because I guess saffron, you use such tiny quantities.
Yeah. So the smallest is a drop, then comes a smidgen, then comes a pinch, then a dash, and then a tad.
That's clever.
Okay, so we're going to do a pinch.
So it's not like a 32nd of a teaspoon or a 16th of a teaspoon.
We're going to do a smidgen of cinnamon. How's that?
Okay. Whatever you say.
Well, but it's half a recipe, so we actually will do a drop.
A drop. All right. A drop of cinnamon. Although I think it would technically be a sprinkle, because drop would imply liquid.
You're right, but that's how we call it, okay? Okay, so we put this drop. Huh? Okay. That's fun, isn't it?
Yeah. And it smells so good in here.
Salt and pepper, measured accordingly, and I think that's it, right? Yes. Let's see. Yeah. So, oranges and juice, cinnamon, and remaining teaspoon.
And of course, we have used our Torres Tenure brandy,
yes.
Which is quite nice. I mean, I can't admit that. Are you about to push?
Yeah.
I can't admit that I enjoy sipping on brandy. I can't claim that. But brandy in cocktails and cooking with brandy. But there are lots of people who love.
Do you want a story about brandy?
Okay.
For a young person.
All right.
So when I was 14, 15, I was put in a boarding school because it was the proper thing to do. Because your 2 brothers went to a boarding school, you're also going to go to a boarding school. Oh, I was so sad. It was terrible. And the best part was when on Sundays, my parents came and picked me up and took me to a great restaurant, which of course my father would sell the wines to. Right?
Always a client or a potential client.
Yeah, exactly. Always. And then at the end of the lunch, my father said, okay, now you have to get used to enjoying brandy. So here's a glass and you're going to drink it. And I didn't like it. at all.
Oh, at age 13.
13, 14.
Oh
so,
gosh.
yeah.
Oh
And
gosh.
so
I can't even
yeah.
do it now.
So anyway, I remember that at 5 o'clock we had to be at school and there was a movie.
Oh no.
And I just was.
After a glass of brandy.
So ever since I have not liked brandy. It's like my father's fault.
Yeah,
not
that
going
would
with
do it. That would do it.
Oops. And why is not? Okay, hello. Is it plugged in? Okay, what am I doing wrong? Okay, I can.
Right, there we go.
Is that cute?
Well, instead, what my mom did when I was little was that she would say, okay, like smell this wine, and I usually just wasn't very interested, but it wasn't being forced on me. Like
No,
Abuelito seems to have forced brandy, and so just a little sniff, and most of the time for many years it was like, that doesn't smell very good.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this sauce because remember this is only half a recipe, so normally it would be double that.
Oh, in the pan.
In the pan, yes, and we're going to put also, together with this, okay, normally I would take it's such a good sauce, normally I would take a spatula and clean it up, but
We'll do that later. We'll do that later.
Exactly. And, what am I doing here? What am I missing? And the stock, oh, here it is, and then some stock, and some, there you go, and some sherry. Oh, I forgot to deglaze. Oh well, just imagine that this has been poured without the duck, okay, and you deglazed it, because I forgot.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
now we're going to warm it up again. What can you say, right? And then we're going to cover it. Well, it's going to cook for about 20 minutes. I'm going to do a little stir. And stir the hell out of it.
So I think that a lot of us associate duck with eating out and going to restaurants. I think it's much, I don't know, it's just not an everyday, like, oh, let's make some duck at home. And why do you think that is? Why is it more intimidating?
Because in the old days, as I said, you had to have, it really is not much more difficult than a chicken, but it's more intimidating because it's less available.
Yeah, it's less common.
Liberty Ducks had opened up in Sonoma County. There wasn't that much duck around. And now you have it. I mean, I think the gastronomy has grown tremendously, at least in California. I know.
And you can go Liberty Duck, especially since COVID. They've got a great setup online on their website. You can Google Liberty Duck and have duck breasts shipped and legs and everything shipped to your home, and in great condition. And it is they're really top quality.
Yeah. So for the legs, you see, it's not as the same texture as the chicken leg, and so normally you make a duck confit, which is kind of a little more.
It's more complicated, isn't it?
So now we're gonna
duck breast. Yeah, start with the duck breast, and this recipe is for duck breast. That's a little more approachable than the legs.
And so we're also gonna put in the pot, or in the skillet or whatever the pan, the figs that were soaked, in water, and the soaking liquid. Okay, so it's all gonna go here, and it's gonna for this. Oh, and now it's already boiling. So we're gonna cover it and reduce the heat. And let's see, and let it cook for about 20 minutes. So we'll pretend that 20 minutes have passed.
Yep,
right?
just like magic. Just like magic.
Okay, so then at that point, you have found. Okay, you know what I forgot? Can you talk a little more about the wine? I forgot to set up the final. Well, okay, I'll show you what it's like. So these are the chicken breasts that have been cooking.
Not chicken.
Hello, duck breast. Thank you. I needed you. I knew
Just
that.
to clarify.
And so here is lovely breast.
Oh, beautiful.
And see how they've made this lovely.
Yeah.
That is because the juice of the duck, because they are rare, very rare inside. Okay, and so they've cooked, but they are still rare. I mean, there's nothing I like less than an overcooked duck breast or chicken breast. I think it's
Anything
different, right?
overcooked.
Yeah, anything
Anything
overcooked. Yeah, so right.
But we are certainly also very European in our tastes. But yeah, we
Yeah.
overcooked
Fine.
fish,
Lovely.
such a shame. Overcooked meat. Yeah, I have to say, generally speaking, medium rare, between rare and medium rare. Depending on the restaurant, I might just say rare if I don't really trust that they're gonna cook something like correctly medium rare, because then it's so much easier to say, oh, can you
Yes.
cook this a little more?
Yes.
Whereas
yes.
if it's overcooked,
Yeah.
if it's like past medium rare, then good
Yeah.
luck with that.
Yeah.
And I hate wasting food.
Oh, yes,
that
she
makes me
does.
very sad.
Oh, yes, she
I will
does.
eat it instead of sending it back, even if I do find it to be overcooked.
So we're gonna put now the chicken breasts here. In
Not
this
chicken.
lovely. How is this possible?
Maybe we'll have to make chicken breast next time.
Yes. Okay. Fine.
If you do want a good chicken recipe, just a couple episodes ago, we made a beautiful chicken samfaina with Mediterranean vegetables, like a healthy stew with veggies, and really quite easy.
Mm-hmm. So I made a recipe and a half that's ready to go, and we're gonna serve it in this lovely bowl that matches our lovely dishes. And see how by just being there, covered with foil, it's made some lovely juice. So we're gonna blend that with the so what we've done after cooking the duck for 20 minutes or so, we have taken the duck and the figs out and kept them warm, and then we let the sauce reduce to about 3/4 of a cup. And sometimes I find that I don't have to reduce it; it's already reduced. And today, for instance, I had to reduce it, so I changed the recipe in time for the website. Right?
Yeah, there we go.
With Megan.
And what would you serve with this dish? Like what side dish?
Oh, I would.
I know what we
Go
have
for
for
it.
tonight, which I'm really
Yeah,
looking
it
forward
really-
to.
But look at this sauce.
Oh,
How
that
beautifully
is
reduced it is.
beautiful.
Can you tell? Oh, it's
Yum.
really. Do you want to taste it? It's
I'm
so
looking
good.
forward to
Okay,
tasting
here,
it.
I'll give you a little spoon.
Oh, I got it. Let's just.
No, but it's so good. I want you to taste it. and say,
Let's just try it.
Here.
Is it ready?
Wait, we have to put the sauce
Okay.
in the thing. No. But taste the sauce. Okay. So,
No,
so
not
here
ready.
come. No, not ready.
All
Here
right.
come the figs, okay? And then we're gonna put the sauce over, because that's how they will come out. And then when you serve it, oh, this is so good. Well, actually, you can see anything but the sauce, right?
All right. So
Oh,
shall we?
I want one sauce that you just No, wait. First you serve the sauce, okay? Which of course has been kept warm. Okay. Wait, but let me get you a spoon. Here.
All right.
Oh no, the sauce first. Okay, the sauce doesn't go first. Okay, fine. The sauce goes on top. And then we have for decoration these lovely, orange. How do you call it?
Segments.
Segments. Thank you very much.
Mm.
So the segments go on one side,
All
three
right.
per person, and the figs go on the other side. And we take this out because we want to one more dish and one more here. 3 per person and 3 per person.
All
Isn't that
right.
pretty?
Let's try. Yeah.
Okay. And this will be for the next person.
Oh boy.
Okay. And I don't like this cake, so frankly, I take it out. But let's see what you think.
Mm. Mm-mm.
And it's still rare, right?
Oh, yum. And why Duck and Pinot Noir? Why do they pair well together?
As I said, I think it depends on the sauce and what you make.
Oh boy.
But
Well, I think the
Mhm.
fattiness. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I agree with you.
No, go ahead.
That it has a little bit of fat in the meat, the duck. I have a mouthful, so much fat.
I think, I mean, it's just a match made in heaven. The fattiness of the duck with the acidity of the Pinot Noir, and that sweet and savory element is really, really complementary.
Yep.
Yum. Well, I think we're off to a good start for the weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I made 2 recipes, so lots of that for dinner tonight.
Oh, and we have Nanda, so good to have you join us, who just joined the wine club, and I can't wait to meet you when you come back in a couple of weeks and your lovely family. And she says that she needs to get a bottle of Christina next time she comes to visit. You certainly do, so we'll have it waiting for you. And yeah, so good to have you. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time, the first Friday of the month.
Yep.
And we can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, cheers. Have a lovely weekend.
This one is